Alright, so dev update just came out 2 days ago. It's just basically saying, hey everyone, welcome back to first dev update. So first it says have a great and happy holiday and happy new year. And let's go into info for this week. So they basically mentioned that what's on the horizon for the next coming months, and they got the next big patch update, which is 5.1, which is in a few weeks time. So they're going to be adding to Abyssal Tournament shop where players get to spend the actual currency, finally, it's taken ages, cosmetic items to spruce up their profiles. And patch 5.1 also increases max stage to 116, so 1116, which is insane, and kick off the special Valentine's event to add a couple new equipment and game and more. So first I want to go through that paragraph. Now there's two things a lot of people mentioned in the comments below, and myself included: the cosmetic items to spruce up the profiles. Now to me that sounds like all they're going to do is change maybe the background image of the character there, or things like let's load this up, like the background image and that sort of thing. These little things which, to be honest, I don't really care about. I've only changed that like once in the last year, and I hardly ever change that. I don't know about you guys, but I hardly ever change these things. So it'd be interesting what they actually mean about the cosmetics of the profile, but it'd be interesting. Also 116, a lot of people are not happy that there's been a stage increase without new artifact enchantments or anything new to actually help us get to that extra stages. So people are quite bummed by that. I don't know how you guys feel about it. And the Valentine's event, I wonder what that is. We had a Valentine's event like 3 years ago, which was pretty sweet. It's where the community, so every player joined the total goal, and we got a special sword. It was a Valentine's sword as a reward, and I think it was like glitched because it was a lot bigger than it should have been. Where is it? I don't know. I'm guessing you guys remember that as well somewhere. But basically it was this massive sword. I think it's like a Valentine's heart sword or something, and it was bigger than it should actually be. But I'm hoping they bring that back, because the Valentine's event where we globally worked as a team was so much fun. It wasn't just like you doing a badge event, which, I'll be honest, I think it's just going to be another Firestone event, but just Valentine's themed, because they seem to be doing that a lot recently, just reusing the badge event and just change the skins of it, which I think is shit. If they did an actual separate event, that'd be absolutely amazing. So it'll come out with the actual patch. So they're going to start the next plan patch, focus on the main game and raid improvements. So they're looking to start the main game fixes to commonly asked to change the way of tournament matchmaking works by including all relics into matchmaking, avoid unspent or otherwise. Ooh, unspent or otherwise. That's a key word there. So including all relics into the match unspent. So basically the banking method of relics won't work anymore, which is that we'll have to do another tournament tips video, because that's going to change things. It should tighten up matchmaking and make standard tournaments more competitive. Secondly, also begin a slew of changes coming to raid system by addressing the clan hopping. So one of the ideas of clan hopping is basically delaying it to 48 hours. Currently it's 24, but they're going to change it to 48. So their goal at the start of next year is to release 5.1 almost to continue revisiting improvements of the core system by focusing on the main gameplay and the raids as the two main pillars. So tap Titan experience and taking community feedback in and turn it into change. So if you remember this purely an idea, is subject to change but isn't set in stone by any means. But one of the suggestions is to mash up the artifact improvements of the Abyssal tournaments. What's the point? We're testing out artifact draft mechanic, where you're pulling new artifacts and you get choice of 3 artifacts to choose from. That sounds like they've taken that from Musketeers. If you play Musketeers, when you get a relic, you get choice of 1 to 3 to pick from. I wonder if they got it from that game. And also, it's not been confirmed, but that's one of the ideas. Now, joining us, the one and only, in Discord, we've got Kelly and Moby. If anyone else wants to open up their ideas and thoughts, let me know. But I've got 3 main points so far about what they've just said in Dev Notes. Starting from the top, this paragraph. So the increase to stage 116 and the cosmetics of profiles and the Valentine's event. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think it's like, for example, the cosmetics of the AT tournament, do you think they're going to be worth it, or do you think it's just a bunch of baloney? I think like if it's just changing up, if we're working really hard on the AT, and all they're doing is changing, like, literally your profile pic. You know, you like this guy here, profile pic. I reckon it's that. I reckon you'd be able to change that, and maybe the backgrounds on these.
That's a bit underwhelming.
Yeah, I know. Work your arse off for like was it 100 or 150 coins for first place? Don't you think that's a shit? I don't know. I think, like, I don't know. If you can, what do you think?
It doesn't make better tournaments more rewarding. Don't know. I barely played them because they're just too much, to be honest. Another tournament in the week, 24 hours of pushing again. Nah.
Yeah.
It's difficult. It's really difficult. And then just getting cosmetics doesn't help, in my opinion. I mean, let's be honest. In like 300 days playtime, I switched those like 3 times.
Yeah, exactly.
4 times.
No one uses that. What I reckon would be sick is if they can add animation to that. Can you imagine in a tournament, you won a tournament, and you clicked on a player's profile, and you could see that, but he was like, I don't know, rocking a guitar, or doing like a rock thing, or doing like break dancing, and you can actually animate that as like a kind of like flex, you know, like an emote flex. That'd be pretty cool. But something like that. But yeah, just changing that and that. And also the stage cap to 116. Now we haven't had in the update. It says equipment. It's a couple new equipment sets, but it's not gonna be mythic. I reckon it's gonna be legendary max. It's not gonna be mythic sets. And yeah, exactly.
New event sets and so on.
Yeah.
Stage race to 116k is a catastrophe, let's be honest. This carrot on a stick feeling I described multiple times in chat is getting worse and worse and worse. You are, as a new or as an intermediate player, you're not able to reach max stage at this rate. Under no points without spending tons of money.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's the world's, literally it's the people that are spending money that's getting to the end cap at the moment. I know some people have got to stage like 105 or 8 with like free to play, but oh yeah, I feel exactly the same. That's one of the mechanics I need to look at.
I just said it with Moby. Moby was max stage about 96k, he said. He isn't even able to reach max stage now at any point. I know, Moby, you can talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah, I'm currently at 105k. And I'm not even able to reach it at all.
What, just because of recent updates, or?
Yeah, because of the clan raids, where you get these hero scrolls. They are so overpowered, and I'm not in a good clan, so it's hard for me to reach max stage then.
But yeah, that mentioned to the next point when it's talking about they're trying to fix clan hopping. So the whole point of this was the problem we're having is that medium-sized clans or low clans, basically people are leaving them to join higher clans or clan hopping because it's a great way to farm dust and scrolls and stuff like that. So their solution is basically 48-hour reward kind of cooldown in between clans. So that would help lower clans, but it doesn't solve the issue. It doesn't fix the issue that, like, it's absolutely pointless for new players to start a new clan. So no one has started. Well, people have, but no one's stuck around on new player clans or beginner player clans because there's no reward for it. And there's loads of mid-level clans, so under 30,000, 30k, or those kind of clans, which are just dead. You know, there's half people filled, not doing raids. They've been stuck at tier 2 raids for ages because everyone, you know, is fighting for the top 100. So, yeah, it's definitely something to look at. I don't know how they're going to fix it. I don't know if you guys have any ideas how to fix it, because I think that's...
As long as high clan XP is so important in the game, I guess there is no real fix for it.
The only thing I can think is if you have a loyalty reward. So the longer you stay in a certain clan, you get experience from it. But maybe they give you like 0.2, like 1.2 extra reward when you collect your rewards. So the longer you've been in that clan, say for example you're in it for a month, you get 1.2% extra dust compared to someone who hasn't been there for a month, something like that. So you get like,
it doesn't have to be dust. I mean, the raid XP.
Yeah, raid XP or anything. Yeah, I mean like general altogether. I reckon that would work. I don't know.
Yeah, but still, you have the problem that when you have a clan like with 20k clan XP, you're in no way competitive in any tournament. That solves one part of the issue, but not the whole issue.
Yeah, it's advanced stage start plays a huge effect in it as well. But I don't see how they can fix that either. So
The only way would be to adjust the numbers so that max advanced start is reached at a fairly lower number than it is now. I guess now it's at 42k clan XP right now. That unlike 20k, and lower level clans are far better with that.
absolutely. Well, someone says like 44k.
Sorry.
Yeah. IP, yeah. Yeah, right about that. What was about the matchmaking? So title matchmaking. I'm trying to read the comments, see what others said. They said they're going to improve. So looking at list of main game fixes, but they haven't actually said what main game fixes are. They mentioned tournament matchmaking, also by including. This is a big concern. All relics in matchmaking and unspent or otherwise. So before, the 3 things you used to bank before tournament is unspent diamonds, relics, and shards. So if you didn't spend them, you can bank as many as you want, and it used to give you a little helping hand. But now, it doesn't matter. So if the banking relics before a start of a tournament will have no effect in your matchmaking, which I think sucks balls. I don't know what you guys think.
Even more pay to win.
Yeah, that's what it feels. I feel like it's going for.
I had to laugh a bit about that change. I mean, that's like you get a broken windshield and you change the tire. You see you got a problem, but you fixed the wrong thing.
Yeah.
I mean, the main part, I have to be very careful to not rant here, because matchmaking is just bullshit.
Mhm.
I join a tournament, I compare my stats to like 3 or 4 other guys. I got pet level about 5.5k. I get matched with people like 13k pet level, like 17 crafting level. I'm at 8 right now, I guess.
Yeah.
And that's the unfair point. Not if I banked relics before or not.
Yeah, absolutely. They basically looked at the wrong thing. So that's the thing. I feel like they've changed things that people haven't been asking for. They said they feedback and listen to the community. They said at the bottom right here, they said they're focusing, and you'll listen to some of your suggestions about how to really improve, but they haven't. No one's asked for that to be done. No one has. I haven't seen in any of the Reddit posts or comments, so I don't know where that came from. But he said if they just tightened up the brackets, as you said, for like the matchmaking for pet levels, for max stages, skill points, relics, and just tighten those gaps so it's more fair, that would be enough. But yeah, it's the same with AT. We mentioned this before. The problem I find with AT is that, as I mentioned, there's 2 main problems. You think you mentioned about heroes, the fact it spends ages. There should be an auto hero level button or max auto, because leveling up all the heroes during an AT is absolutely painstaking. And 2, I feel 24 hours is too long. That should be in half minimum. It should be like 12 hours, I reckon, is long enough. Spending a whole day on a separate tournament for what's the best result? 10 skill points, maybe? I think. I don't know.
I
The
think
160 crafting
12.
shards, or what is it, are not bad as a reward. But the point is, why opening a whole new tier for that? Why can't they just say, okay, we take every 10,000 bracket and make a competition who can push faster in a certain amount of time, or who can push further in a certain amount of time?
Yeah.
You keep your shit. It's not completely wasted after the thing is over, and you still have this competitive thing about it.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But completely wasting that, or don't know.
Yeah.
As I said, this tournaments.
Yeah. AT to me sound like, because if you remember Tap Titans 1, they pretty much had the exact same thing where you could basically prestige and you change into a sorcerer. So you had like a melee swordmaster, and then at a certain stage you can do it again, but a sorcerer. It looks like they just copied that. Instead of innovating and did something different, it looks like they've just done that, the Tap Titans 1 mechanics. Because they probably already had like the codes and stuff like that for it anyway. But they've just basically done the exact same thing and just as I said, not really thought about it. I think I'm getting the feeling, like for example, in the comments, and the same with the other comments, they keep saying what annoyed me last week's or 2 weeks ago's comments. They said in the dev update, all right, sorry, we've had spent all of 2020 by doing all these mini updates, so adding pet quest, adding what was it solo tournaments, solo quests and that sort of thing. But the reason we'll be doing this is because we're behind the scenes, without telling anyone, this is the first time we're hearing it, but behind the scenes, we've been working hard on the main mechanics and improving the main structure and the algorithm of the game. Bullshit. Because if you have, where's the information in it? What exactly are you changing? Why are you only now telling us? And the reason they're only telling us now, which I feel, this is how I feel it came across, is the way they worded it and the fact they had no news on it. This is the first time hearing it. And it's only after everyone's been moaning about it for weeks. Yeah, so what do you guys feel? Do you think that's BS, or do you think that they're actually doing, like, they think they've got a big main mechanics overhaul coming up? I hope they do. But I just feel that it's the first time I've heard it in a year. They haven't mentioned it before. They haven't told exactly what they're changing or what they're doing. I just think they just added this. And like exactly, they said the exact same thing on this update. They haven't actually given us any information of what they're doing. I think they're just saying it to shut people up because a lot of people are whinging about it. What do you guys think?
I mean, I can understand that they don't give all the information to the people because the internet is really, really fast in misinterpreting things or stating things as quoted that are not the point of it, and then they get disappointed. I mean, that's the nature of the internet right now. But if they channel their workforce they use for abyssal tournaments, for solo raids, for pet quests, I mean, let's be honest, who does pet quests, into the main game mechanics, I guess they would be further than they're about now. And they're losing players. I mean, I spent like 300 days on this game. I paid a good amount of money into it right till now. I mean, it's not like I'm not a whale. I'm about, let's say, 150 euros, 200 euros maybe. I reached a point where I say this is no more fun. I mean, solo raids just feel repetitive as hell. I mean, respect to Polly at this point that he does it over and over and over and does the guides for it. I wouldn't have the patience for that. Abyssal tournaments, zero engaging from my point. I mean, personal opinion on this point. There may be people out who enjoy those as hell. It's not my cup of tea.
Yeah, I see.
Pet quests, big announcement. They have zero influence. I mean, they're about like 50 stages when you push, when you activate them all. And then it depends on what you get.
Yeah. I feel like, I reckon what they should do, I feel less is more. They've been adding, as rightly so, if you think about it now, with the Abyssal Tournament, Solo Raids, Clan Quest, Pet Quest, badge tournaments where you got to do 99 stages to get top 10%, like always kind of farming. There's so much stress. Like, people play this as a, like, basically like a full-time job, like, 6 hours a day, every day to win those badges, plus doing the raises, plus doing AT, plus doing normal tournaments, plus blah. And it's not enjoyable when an idle game becomes not an idle game where you actively have to play like 4 to 6 hours every day for a month. How the hell is that an idle game? It's not. It's an active, fully active, like I don't even call it an RPG. I just call it like an active clicker game. So that's what they need to do. As I said, less is more. If it was me, I don't know exactly what, because obviously changing the core mechanics of a game is a huge thing, because obviously if you change one code and one thing, it would change like 100,000 things down the line. So I know how complicated it can be. But if it was me, I would have removed so that, well, this is just top of my head, and the only reason I'm saying all this is because I am a huge fan of Tap Titans. That's why I cover it, and that's why I talk about it. So this is criticism because I want the game to be better. That's what we're trying to go across. Being a fan of the game is not saying it's shit. I love the game. I just want it better because I can see it being better, but also I can see it's the company basically losing the fan base, because it is, if you look at Google Trends, the stats on Tap Titans, it's been gradually decreasing year by year, because every idle game is like that. It's hard to keep it. Now, I would there's 3 things I would do. Is I'll change the skill tree completely. Now, in the first one, I think it was like 1.4 update, we didn't even have the skill tree. Skill tree was a new thing, so I reckon they should revamp it. They should basically Night Tree needs redoing. It is by far the weakest out of all the builds. Has little influence. It's mostly tap damage. Pet has literally not much effect on any build. It does have some damage, but it's one of the weakest damages out of all. So I reckon it should revamp the pet to make pet stuff, and by doing so, they can take away pet quest completely. Get rid of pet quest. Don't need it. Get rid of it, and maybe introduce 2 new skills that do overall base damage or change into a specific pet build, because that'll make it interesting. Bringing a pet build back as being one of the strongest build after 3 years will make the community rethink. Wow, that's a big change. So get rid of that. Again, with solar quests, I don't see the point of solar quests. Solar raids, sorry. I don't see absolutely no point of these. If you're raiding already, like the amount of the dust and stuff you get from this is equivalent to what, like 2 raids. I think 2 raids gives you the same amount, something like that. So why not just increase the rewards of the clan raids, or as you said, they're trying to sort out trying to focus on main raids and the main mechanics. So do that, focus on the main raids by sorting out the reward system and get rid of solar raids, and already those 2 things would improve. I don't know if you guys think of anything else that would be a major influence.
I guess solo raids could be done better in 2 ways. One, give the more advanced players raid XP for those. I think 100 raid stage 100 or something like that, get XP for that. So everybody above that just plainly is cut out of that. Second, take away those freaking deck choices. As a raider, when you everybody in chat who actively raids knows this. You got your main raid cards you always push, and some you never use. Actually never. And then you get to stage 40, get a Mohawk, get 3 really bad just get bad constellations of cards, and you can't just do them. 1 week you reach stage 45, other weeks you can't beat 38.
People spend like what, 2 hours on it, an average, like between an hour and a half to 2 hours of the average player on completing a solar raid. How long do you reckon leaderboard? Yeah, so obviously the big players did it in under an hour, but average person, look, this person took like 5 hours to do it. It was a good idea, but it's like one of these mechanics. I just think that like you can easily, because the reason people do it is to get the rewards, the extra dust and cards, but you can easily just give that reward, just increase that reward on your main raid, so it takes away that completely. But I don't know, it's one of these extra things that I don't know, I just don't find it enjoyable to do. Like there's no like, I don't feel an accomplishment or anything satisfying when I reach stage 50 on it, which I've been luckily with my main account, I've been doing that recently. I don't feel satisfaction from doing it. Like I don't think, oh wow, that's amazing, I'm glad I did that. I just think it's a chore. I really don't look forward to doing it. So, and
even if you reach stage 50 like I do, it's no fun anymore. I already did it, and now it's no satisfaction more. Anymore.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know what
it's more like a burden.
Yeah. When you add something where all the players feel it's a burden, then like the developers must rethink and say like, well, what's the point? You know, well, why are you adding stuff if it's a chore? So I think solar raids should go. That's my personal opinion. I don't know if everyone else feels the same. If you feel the same watching this, leave a comment below, because your comments the devs do watch these videos, funny enough, they've told me, so your feedback does help. Yeah, that's pretty much the main things I want to talk about. So the AT, I reckon it's too long. As you mentioned before, I think that should be halved. As I said, they should change the system on it. I think getting rid of unspent relics is a bad idea for tournaments, but you know, that's here or there. And change the core mechanics. I want them to explain more what that means. What does change the core mechanic means? And are they change the build? Are they change how we level up stages? Or you know, they tweaked the heroes recently in the last a couple patches back, but I feel there was no difference really. Did any of you guys feel any difference with the heroes reworking? I didn't.
Sometimes when you reach certain stages, or you reach new heroes, and the hero power spikes late, it's kind of difficult to overcome this step until he really gets good, because he scales late level.
Yeah.
But overall, not much of a difference, to be honest.
And that was another thing. Why did they change it? Did anyone ask for that change? Like, was it needed? Was it change that we really need?
Not really. They just wanted something innovative, and they shot themselves in the knee. But that's my opinion.
Yeah, I was a venturer to an arrow in the knee. Yeah, have you got any final thoughts before I end this little section? Anything you want to say?
I guess I said all I have to say.
Oh, I love the feedbacks. Thanks, Kelly. Thanks, baby. But yeah, this is a bit different, guys. So what I'm doing from now on, if you haven't followed, make sure you're subbed and followed. But I do stream every Wednesdays and Sundays on Twitch and YouTube, so make sure you follow me. Link below. But yeah, if you do follow that, I will be doing these dev updates or answering questions. So hopefully it gets feedback to the devs, and just to get your opinion, what you guys think, the community, on what you think about updates, about what's happening in Tap Titans, because funny enough, our input matters. So yeah, if you liked it, I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.